Good evening. In an election year already fraught with improbable plot twists and drama, now this, the ideological balance of the U.S. Supreme Court suddenly in limbo. Tonight, there's late word on who President Obama might be considering to replace the late Justice Scalia, as lines are drawn for an epic battle between Democrats and Senate Republicans, who are determined to leave the choice up to the next president. Tonight, the current president is suggesting Republicans are full of bluster. But they, not Democrats, hold the power to control the process. Our justice correspondent Pete Williams begins our coverage.
The body of Antonin Scalia arrived overnight, the casket draped in an American flag, flown from Texas, where he died in his sleep at a private guest ranch.
The judge, when I found him Saturday morning, was in complete repose.
On the court, Scalia was one of the most influential conservatives in more than a generation. In dissent, his criticism could be stinging, even for Ruth Bader Ginsburg, his ideological opposite, but close friend and traveling companion. She said Sunday they were, quote, best buddies.
How is it that you're able to zing somebody, especially your dear friend Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and the next day still be pals and go to the opera?
Because the next day she'll be zinging me. I mean, it's equal opportunity zingers.
Among possible nominees to succeed him, Sri Srinivasan of Washington, D.C. and Jane Kelly of Iowa confirmed as federal judges unanimously. Also, Washington Appeals Court judges Merrick Garland, considered a moderate, and Patricia Millett, experienced litigator and former Ginsburg clerk. For now, the Supreme Court is evenly split between conservatives and liberals without Antonin Scalia, so some of the big cases could end in 4-4 ties. On immigration, a tie would block President Obama from enforcing his plan to allow up to 5 million people here illegally to stay. And on abortion, a tie would allow tough new restrictions on access to abortion clinics in Texas to remain in force. Or, in case of a tie, the court could choose to withhold its decision and order the case to be re-argued when there's a ninth justice.
The justices have the ability to take a case in which there's a tie and just put it on a shelf and come back to it a year later, conceivably even 2 years later.
In modern times, the longest stretch the Supreme Court has gone without all 9 justices is just over a year, and that was nearly 50 years ago. The justices are now in their midwinter break. They'll be back on the bench a week from today.